Hello guys, in today's class we shall discuss the effect of winding resistances on your practical transformer. So far we did not consider any of the resistances, we not account it. So now we will account. Okay. So either it is primary or secondary, there exist what? Windings, which you all know. So if windings exist, then what happens? There exist resistances. So we have primary winding resistance as well as secondary winding resistance. Accordingly, R1 is primary winding resistance in ohms, whereas R2 is secondary winding resistance in ohms. Okay. So now what happens when you give supply to the primary circuit or primary winding? What happens? There flows a current, which you all know. Yes or not? So during flow, what happens? There is a resistance offered by the winding. So that offered resistance, or you can call it as what? Drop as I1 into R1. Okay. The drop, the winding which offers, that drop is called as what? Winding drop or voltage drop. So with respect to this, they have written this equation. Let us see how this equation has come. Okay. Now you can see here one of the diagrams over here we have drawn. So this is a primary circuit and this is secondary circuit. Don't bother about this. This is nowhere related as of now. Just worry about this. Okay. So we know that V1 is supplied to the primary circuit. Yes or not? And E1 is the EMF induced in your primary circuit. What about R1? R1 is the what? Collective resistance of this total winding present in the primary. Okay. Similarly, R2 is the total winding resistance present in the secondary. Instead of showing over here, they have shown here. Okay, we should think like R1 is the total resistance of this winding. So if I apply KVL, so let us say I1 is flowing like this from left to right. If I apply KVL, means what happens? V1 is equal to I1 into R1 plus E1. Yes or not? V1 is equal to I1 into R1 plus E1. This is what the KVL. Yes or not? That is what they have written over the top here. Yes, V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 R1, but instead of writing in terms of E1, they have written in terms of EMF. Okay, so EMF or vector difference between V1 as well as I1 R1 gives you EMF E1, that is EMF induced in the primary circuit. Okay, so similarly, we can write for what? Induced EMF in the secondary side. Okay, now let us see that how to write. See here, source V1 was supplying E1, yes or not? Current was flowing from where? Supply to the E1. But here you can see that this is E2. Yes or not? If I connect load over here means, or even if we don't connect, what happens? There exists a potential difference. So this, what I can write here, it is V2 over here. Okay. And I2 flows from left to right. I2 flows from left to right. Again, this is the potential V2 over here. Okay. And this is E2, which already learned. Now here E2 will supply V2. Okay, E2 will supply V2, but here V1 will supply E1. Okay, so E2 is equal to I2R2 plus V2. Very simple. E2 is equal to I2R2, that is drop across the resistance, I2R2 plus V2. This is what they have shown here. Okay, you can see E2 is equal to V2 plus I2R2, or you can write in terms of V2, that is vector difference between induced EMF the secondary winding as well as a drop in the secondary winding. Okay, this is how. Hope you understood how this equation came. Okay, and like I already told you that I1 R1 as well as I2 R2 are purely resistive drops, since we have only considered only resistance here, no any reactance. So these are your resistance drop. Okay, and they are always phase with the respective currents, because we know that voltage as well as current lie on the same phase when there is a pure resistance. Now let us try to calculate equivalent resistance. So first of all, the question which arises in your mind here is, what is exactly equivalent resistance? Like I told you, drop occurs in the primary winding as well as secondary winding. In the primary winding occurs what? I1 R1, whereas in secondary winding occurs it as I2 R2. So what we are trying to do over here is, we are trying to transfer the resistance from one side to another side. That is, you can transfer the drop in the secondary I2 R2 into the primary side, and also you can transform drop I1 R1 in the primary winding to secondary winding. Okay, by doing so, what happens? It will ease our calculations. Okay, so this is why we are calculating what? Equivalent resistance, so you can understand the transformer better here. So we know that copper loss occur in both winding, primary winding as well as secondary winding. Yes or not? So copper loss is characterized by the formula I square into R. General form I am speaking. To be specific, with respect to primary, we have what? I1 square into R1. Yes, this is the copper loss occurring in the primary winding. Whereas I2 square R2 is the copper loss occurring in the secondary. Yes or not? So if I add both, then only I will get what? Total copper loss. I already discussed this thing. Yes or not? Yes, I have already discussed this. Total copper loss is the copper loss occurring in both primary winding as well as secondary winding. Again, this loss depends on what? Load condition. Okay. So if load is high, copper loss will be high. If load is less, copper loss will be less. So if I add this, then this will be the scenario. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take what? I1 square as common. Okay, we shall see why we have taken I1 square and all. So if I take I1 square common here, then what happens? In the bracket R1 remains, and this will become what? I2 by I1. Yes or not? I2 by I1 whole square also you can write. Otherwise you can write I2 square by I1 square. Again R2 is as it is. Fine. Same thing, I1 square again I have written here, R1 as R1. But we know that I1 by I2 is K. Yes or not? Transform ratio already have learnt. I1 by I2 is K. And what about I2 by I1? I2 by I1 is 1 by K. Yes or not? I1 by I2 is K and I2 by I1 is 1 by K. Since square is over here on the both the sides, that is the numerator as well as secondary. So denominator, numerator as well as denominator. So what happens here? I will write 1 by K whole square. 1 square is in here 1 and so it is K square R2. Cleared. If it was I1 by I2 means it would have been K square. Since it is I2 by I1 whole square, so what happens? So it will be 1 by K square and R2. Okay, this is what they have shown here, where we know that I2 by I1 is equal to 1 by K. And now coming to this. So we are referring this R2 by K square as R2 dash. Okay. If you multiply this pins to this and this, what happens? It will be R2 by K square. I will call this R2 by K square as R2 dash. Here it is shown. And this R2 dash is nothing but what? Equivalent resistance of secondary referred to primary. Nothing but what? We have transferred resistance from secondary to primary. It is another word. It's another way of expression. What? Equivalent resistance of secondary referred to primary. Whatever we are going to is, we are going to refer with respect to primary because we have transferred all the resistance present in the secondary to the primary. So it is called as what? R2 by K square. We have denoted it as R2 dash. So R2 dash equal to R2 by K square. Now what I will do is I will replace this R2 by K square by R2 dash. So what happens now? It will be I1 square into bracket R1 plus R2 dash. Yes or not? You can see R1 plus R2 dash. And now what about here? What about here? Since we haven't considered any current over here, so what I'll do is whatever present in the bracket, whatever that is R1 plus R2 dash, I'm going to call it as equivalent resistance R1E. Okay, I'm going to call it as R1 plus R2 dash was what? R1E, that is equivalent resistance referred to primary. Okay, denoted as R1E. That's what it's written here, transformer referred to primary and denoted as R1E. So R1 is the what? Equivalent resistance referred to primary. Okay, and R2 dash is what? Nothing but R2 by K square. And again this R1 if I got means I'm going to substitute R1E here in the bracket. Yes or not? Because R1 plus R2 by K square is nothing but R1E. Yes or not? So R1E if I substitute over here in the bracket, removing this, then what will be the equation? Total copper loss equal to I1 square into R1E. This is what written here. Total copper loss equal to I1 square into R1E. You can write in this fashion as well. I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2, which you know. Yes or not? If you add these two, then only you get what? Total copper loss. If I know directly the equivalent resistance when referred to primary means, I can just use this. If you know R1, R2, I1, I2, then use this formula. If you know just primary current as well as equivalent resistance when referred to the primary and all, then you can use this formula. Depending upon the values which you have in the problem, you can go through that. But both formulas you should remember. Okay. So R1 is what? Equivalent resistance when referred to the primary side only. Okay. Now similarly we can transfer what? The resistance present from the primary to secondary. In here case what we have done? We have transferred secondary to the primary side. Now what we are going to do is, now I will transfer the resistance from primary to secondary. Let us see how to do that. Again same formula, total copper loss equal to what? I1 square into R1 plus I2 square into R2. Yes or not? Now instead of taking I1 as common, I mean I1 square as common, now what I'm going to do is as taking I2 square as common. Why we are doing this all circles? Because we are doing all this because to have the equivalent resistance when referred to secondary. That is going to transfer all the resistance from primary side to secondary side. Okay, so this is why we are going to take I2 square as common. If I take I2 square as common, what I will get in the bracket? I1 square by I2 square into R1 plus I2 square anyhow I have taken common, so nothing will remain, only just R2 will remain. So we know that I1 by I2 is K. Yes, their case what happened? In that case it was I2 by I1 is equal to 1 by K, but here directly we have I1 by I2, so it will be what? K, precisely K square, because it has both square on numerator as well as secondary. So what happens? K square R1 plus R2. Now, since we have referred to the secondary side, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call K square R1 as R1 dash. Since this is terminology with respect to primary side, so I'm taking 1 over here. Anyhow, collectively I'm calling it as R1 dash, where R1 dash is called nothing but what? K square into R1, which is the primary resistance referred to secondary. Okay. Again, similarly, same thing. When I write R1 dash over here, what happens here? R1 dash plus R2. You can call R1 dash plus R2 as R2E, because since we are transformed resistance from primary to secondary, so it will be what? R2E. Yes or not? R2 plus R1 dash is nothing but what? R2E. So otherwise, same thing you can write here, R2 plus K square R1. So total copper loss will be what? Now it will be I2 square into R2E, because this whole term will be termed as what? R2E, that is equivalent resistance when referred to the secondary. So I2 square into R2E. Okay. Along with this, you can write along this this formula as well. I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. Okay. Now this is the diagram which I have shown earlier. Now it has come into picture now. So this was my earlier diagram where I haven't transformed any of the resistance either from primary to secondary or secondary to primary. I have not transferred. Now what I am going to do is I am going to transfer to the primary. So R2 is here. If I transfer to the primary, then what happens? It will act like R2 dash. Yes, this is what we just saw in the derivation. R2 is present in secondary. Now I'm going to refer with respect to primary. So I'm going to transfer this to this place. Then what happens? It will become R2 dash. By doing so, we are not going to affect any of the values. All calculations will be all correct, proper. Okay, there is no, we are not hurting any mathematics or something. Everything will be fine. Okay, so you can transfer R2 to here. So if I transfer, remember it becomes dash. So R2 remains R2 itself. On the top of it, what we will get? We'll get what? Dash. And we know that R1 plus R2 dash is R1E. Yes or not? R1 plus R2 dash is R1E. Whereas R2 dash is equal to what? And it has R2 by K square as well. If you want to so elaborated manner, means you can write in the bracket what? R2 by K square. Okay, R2 by K square. So this is how we are going to refer to the primary. Similarly, we can going to refer to the secondary as well. So R1 is there. Now I'm going to transfer this R1 to secondary. If I transfer to secondary, what happens? It will become what? R2, it will be as it is. If I transfer, R1 become R1 itself, but we have what? Dash, R1 dash. Okay, just to make significant or things clear here. So we can differentiate between R1 as well as R1 dash, everything. So we're going to call it as R1 dash. But we know that R2 plus R1 dash is nothing but what? R2E, which you already know. Yes or not? We can replace these two things by R2E. And what about R1 dash? Yes, R1 dash nothing but what it should be? It will be answer is K square into R1. So we can write here in the bracket if you want, means R1 square nothing but R1 dash nothing but what? K square into R1. That one is R2 is equal to R2 by K square, but it is multiplication of K square to this. Okay. 1 same, R2 dash equal to R2 by K square, R1 dash equal to K square into R1. See, 1 everything remains same. No any two suffix and everything. Whatever suffix is there, same suffix will be carried out there. Okay, just to remember this. Okay, you should remember this also when referred to secondary equivalent resistance.